It reminds me of a controversial topic that keeps coming up on our podcast.
What's that?
About ghosting.
Oh, okay.
Setting boundaries. So I wanted to know your opinion on ghosting in general. Like, if I'm
That's just rude. That's just rude. Well, do you want to be ghosted?
I don't want to be ghosted, but I feel like karma has got me recently. We talked about this off mic. But at the same time, like, telling the truth is not always the best method either. so like if I'm talking to you and I'm like, you know what, like, every time I come over, she tries to cook. This is just a terrible example. Her cooking is awful, but I don't have the heart to tell her, you know what, like, you need to stop cooking.
You don't have to be so harsh.
That's what I'm saying.
You could say something like, "Oh, this is not my favorite."
Every time?
Then they'll get the point. They'll get the point.
She is fucking this up every time. Y'all don't understand.
Don't go there to eat.
That was a terrible example, but I just mean like something that keeps like showing up over and over again.
Then talk about it.
Yeah.
So you talk about it even though it like completely turns you off. Like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's rude.
AG's saying, like, why don't I just stop talking to her?
So, okay, we're stepping into the topic called codependency.
Okay.
Codependency in a nutshell is, so you're talking to this person. If they're okay, you're okay. If they're not okay, you're not okay. So you don't want to say certain things because then they won't be okay.
Right.
Healthy you would be like, well, it's okay that they're upset about this. I mean, because you can do it in a kind, compassionate way. You can communicate anything in an empathic, compassionate way. They're allowed to feel whatever they're going to feel. But codependency goes, ooh, I don't want them to feel X. I don't want them to feel Y. I don't want them to feel Z. So I'm going to control this narrative.
I don't want them feeling anything, so I just don't.
That's codependency.
Okay.
That's codependency.
Got it.
So the healthy dynamic would be to communicate, this cooking is not my favorite. Let's go out to eat. Let's mix it up. Let's change it. Or if it's in the bedroom, let's try it this way because this is not really working for me. There's ways to communicate it. And one thing that in codependency we don't understand is that we are not responsible for the thoughts and feelings of others. Now that sounds harsh. That sounds really harsh. We have to be empathic. We want to be compassionate, but we are not responsible for the thoughts and feelings of others. They are allowed to feel whatever they feel when you say, your cooking's not my favorite.
And then duck.
So
you might have to. You might have to duck, but then you're authentic. You've been speaking to your authentic self, and then it might open the way to exit that relationship or whatever the case may be instead of just ghosting.
I see. So I always saw codependency. I'm trying to tie it into what you're saying as you are relying. So I'm simplifying it. You are relying on the other person for your
well-being.
Okay. Well-being. Yeah. And what you're saying is, which I agree with, of course, you have to have, you shouldn't be building a relationship just to build it and just to make each other happy. Your paths just have to align, which that means your thoughts, your ideas, your entire dynamic of your makeup really just have to work together for it to like make sense on a beyond just like how you feel. Like, I've definitely loved people that our paths just aren't aligning, and it's not like I feel like I still, like I would love them, but then it's like, look, on a practical level, we have different personalities. Right. We are different people. And this isn't going to work. And, I've definitely had tough conversations with that, that didn't end well. And, because to them, it felt like they're just thinking, well, I love you, so it should work. Yeah. And that's it.
Doesn't work that way.
And I'm like, there's more. There's just more.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You were saying something about relying on someone for your well-being. We, as human creatures, should be happy within ourselves, and then our partners are really an asset. But codependency is, if she's upset, I'm in the doghouse.
It's
like,
which is such a common.
Yes.
I mean, that's such a common saying, and like,
Right.
and 1,000% what you're saying about culturally, we just accept it. We just say, all right, yeah, like it's like the typical thing you see at parties, like the men will go stand over here and like, oh, the wife's mad at me for this, I'm in the doghouse this week, and then the men all laugh about it as if like, yeah, I'm going through the same thing, right? And it's like,
we all in the doghouse.
I really feel sorry for men often. Like when because being out and about in public, I see behaviors all the time, and a lot of times I see a woman going after a man, I'm just like, oh, that poor guy. I overhear conversations, and I'm just like, oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, no, I feel that way a lot too. Not even just in that context, but just in general. Like you just hear some of these conversations. Like I'm like, damn, like
he's going through it.
That's tough.
I have to counsel a lot of women sometimes. I'm like, men are not mind readers. You have to talk to them,
Can you tell
not
all
scream at them.
Everyone that.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, they're not mind readers.
We need that.
Yes, you have to talk. You have to communicate, not scream, not cry, not manipulate. Communicate.
Yeah.